Oh, yeah, so I laughed at some kid from West Virginia that came up here, and he was complaining about how rough of a life he had. I said, yeah, take a look at my kid. I said, okay, you want to tell me your life was tough? Can you imagine being him? And he's like, oh, no. I said, look, dude, I said, you're a cutie pie, man. You must have skated through life. He's never had to do nothing. I said, look at this poor kid. I said, and luckily he's got both eyes, both limbs, he's got eyes, ears, and everything works. I said, there's other kids that, were born without legs or born without arms. So don't tell me how bad you had it. I said, you've had it, easy life. I said, so anybody calls me up and says, oh, my life is so tough. Oh, really? You got Downs? What? You got 2 arms, 2 legs? Yeah, well, you want me to show you some pictures of kids who don't? And you want to tell me how tough your life is? And like, well, I guess it's kind of tough. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of a crybaby. The man did apologize when he left. He says, I'm 29 because I'm a real young 29. He said, I'm sorry that I acted so young. He says, obviously it's going to take a lot for me to learn how to be a man. I said, oh, yeah. I said, because right now you try to pull these magic words in court, you still got to go past that judge who definitely is a man or knows when he sees a man and when he doesn't see a man in his court. I said, now, if you act like a man in his court, he'll let you slide. I said, you try to pull these magic words, and you think just because you know these magic words, you're going to just laugh and get away with it. I said, the judge will say, you know what? You hit every single magic word. You are absolutely correct on every single point of law, and I'm still going to hold you guilty, and you're still going to go to jail. He said, but wait a second, I'm a man. I'm looking for the man who done me wrong, and there ain't no man. He knows this common law. And he's like, the judge is going to say, you know what, kid? Sue me. Sue me from jail. Let's see if you know how to pull that trick out. Let me see if they got that on YouTube video. How do I sue a judge from jail? You see how that works out for you. So like a Dean Clifford thing. Like, go ahead, Dean. You're 16 months in jail. Go ahead. How did you sue a judge from jail? I'm sure he sued everybody from jail. I'm sure he was letting all kinds of paperwork come flying out of that prison or that jail. He was in jail, not prison. Sorry about that. I'm sure not one piece of that damn paperwork, all that paperwork he put in went anywhere, in any court. I'm sure it's just all sitting there. Because they're like, yeah, so what? You know what? Sue me.
Yeah. When I walked into the second appearance for what I called you about, I walked in and I said, I'm me, I'm Ryan, I'm appearing as a man today, just in case if anybody had any questions with that. I'm a man, I'm a real man, and I'm here. And he goes, well, sir, I just want you to know that I never disputed the fact that you're a real man. So I didn't know if he just blowing his smoke, but now I don't know. I think he was being nice.
Well, like I said, you got to be very careful if you're talking about a driver's license, because if you're only going in there, that's how I met one man in Canada. He got some advice from somebody who said, just go to court and something like I do, saying like you're just a man and you're not defendant and not whatever. So the judge said, oh, good. Since the defendant isn't here and the only person that's here is the wife, I'm going to give the bank accounts to the wife, the house to the wife, the car to the wife, the kids to the wife. I'm going to give everything to the wife until the husband appears. So since the husband won't appear, I don't see him here, and obviously the man is still standing right in front of the judge, and I only see, I can't see a man because I don't have jurisdiction over a man. I'm going to have to give every single thing to the wife because that's what I have jurisdiction over, the wife and the husband. I don't have jurisdiction over a man. So too bad the husband didn't show up, because I'm going to give every single damn thing to the wife who did appear, because the husband will not appear. So that's what's happens to you, a lot of you guys who have driver's licenses and stuff. It's like, I'm a man, da-da-da. Oh, well, since the driver's license, the defendant did not appear, I'm going to have to make a ruling against the defendant. And the driver's license is suspended against the legal person known as, whatever your name is, Jack Smith, Jack Jones, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to do to you. And that's, you're going to like, hey, wait a second, I'm standing right here. You can't do that. I'm just asking for the man that, oh, look, we're looking for the legal person. If the legal person is not here, we're going to hold the trial in its absentia, and the license is going to be suspended indefinitely until the defendant appears. And that's what they're going to do to you guys. You guys go into this, I'm a man. It's like, yeah, great, lovely. Nobody's disputing you're a man. We're looking for the legal person. We're looking for the guy who's got the driver's license. Well, that's not me. Okay, well, then we're going to find the driver failed to appear, and we're going to suspend his license indefinitely. Next case. You're going to be like, wait, I still got all this free man bullshit to say. Yeah, the judge will be like, well, you're in the wrong court. Free man court is 2 doors down to the left.
Next to it. Where you meet your cellmate, right?
Yeah, no, there, when you meet your cellmate, you see the word men's on the door, men's bathroom on the door, and then say, yeah, that's where you can file that.
Yeah.
You know, because you're full of shit.
I haven't gone off on nothing really. I just I've done everything I've said. I've put in paper too, and had the clerk stamp it and all that, and it's just real minimal stuff. But I don't know what I'm doing either. So.
Yeah, that's why you got to be extremely careful when you do this free man bullshit. You know, like I said, the stuff I do, man, is some real good shit. But like I said, if you don't know the whole game, like it's like playing tennis. You only know how to hit the ball over the net. It's like, hey, then I hit the ball back over at you. What? Whoa! Nobody told me the ball's going to come back at me. What? You just keep shooting the ball over the net? Yeah. Well, I'm a hell of a man. I could serve that ball great. Well, what happened when I hit it back? Now what do you do?
Yeah. Now how do you hit it back?
I don't know how to hit it back. Should I hit it back? Should I just let it go? Did it go over the line? Did it hit the top of the net? Did it go out of bounds? Is it going out of bounds? It's like, well, wait a second. Sometimes you don't want to hit the ball back. Why not? Because it's going long. Just let it go long. What? Yeah, the judge is just shooting it, man. It's going long. Just let it go. Just let it go. Don't hit it back. No, just let it sit there. Just no way to go with this. Just let it die. What? Oh, okay. Well, wait a second. No, it's going to fall in bounds. Oh no, that's still in play. Oh man, you got to say this. Got to say this. Well, I thought you said don't say anything. I didn't say don't ever say anything. I said don't hit the ball back when it's going long. It's like, wow, this is too complicated. Yeah, it's called tennis, man. It's kind of a tough game.
Yeah.
Any game, no game is easy. It's like, well, to me, if you're a great tennis player, well, then obviously playing a game of tennis is easy. But if you're not a great tennis player, man, that's one frustrating game. When people see, like I said, 99% of my stuff has been traffic related, but it's 10 feet long. So people are like, holy crap, you've been in court a lot. It's like, yeah, so you see a lot of stuff while you're sitting in traffic court. You see a lot of other cases going by, and you're learning a lot when you're a kid. Almost 9 feet out of the 10 feet of my rap sheet went before I was the age of 20. It was almost all traffic related.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun driving really fast and doing a lot of crazy things with motorcycles and getting citations. I remember back then they didn't have computers, so it was funny. They had to use these books, and I remember this like 90-year-old lady, man. She was like a court clerk, and when I showed up with a citation, and she says, "You got a 1069, a 1069." She said, "69. I heard a 1068 and 1070." She said, "Huh. I've been working here for like 50 years, and you know what? Honestly, I don't know what." She whips out this great big huge book, man. It was funny, man. I mean, this book must have been about 6-7 inches thick, man. There's dust all over, and she plops it on the counter. She opens it up, and she says, "No, driving on a sidewalk." She said, "Yeah, you don't get that very often." I said, "Well, yeah, sometimes, you got to do what you got to do, Sometimes it's easier just to drive on a sidewalk than it is to wait." So I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I was getting tickets for, things you could only dream of. The people who worked there DMV didn't even know what that was. Yeah, that was the funniest one I ever remember getting, was when the old lady had the book was as big as she was. And, it was ridiculous how she put it on the counter like that and says, "What the hell is this? I don't remember. I've been doing this for like 50 years. What the hell is a 69? Oh, driving on a sidewalk. Huh. Yeah, that's one you don't see every day." Yeah, I guess most people keep the car and keep it on the road. I say, well, sometimes, what's the difference? It's flat and concrete, support.
Well, you can't drive backwards.
Yeah, that's it. Driving in reverse. Yeah, there you go. I can do that too. Yeah, no problem. I don't see a problem with it. I'm doing it quite well. Yeah, his front bumper was on my bumper. We were doing fine. I kept it on the road. I made turns. I went through stop signs. He's like, "Hey," I said, "You call that reckless? I call this a pretty damn good driving."
And they're patting yourself on the back, huh?
I'll tell you, man. I was a very. I don't know if I'm a very good driver anymore, but I'm telling you, man. I used to be a hell of a driver. I built cars, so I knew what they could do.
Well, New York City's the video game of driving, so.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, I was very, very good at driving. So, like I said, it's just like going to court. I'm very, very good at it because I did it so often.
Yeah.
And I got the rule books, at a very young age. I found out the New York State codes, when it came to 1972, I saw something in the newspaper, and it said that corporal punishment has been eliminated as a source of punishment to be administered from any further New York State teacher or like administrative staff, but it's lawful for the parents to hit their children. So that's what got me into it, was 1972. People say to me, what got you into it? And it's like, when I saw this newspaper article, because everybody read newspapers when we were kids. Everybody got the daily newspaper come to the house. And when I saw that it said it's illegal for New York State administrators and teachers and, to administer corporal punishment upon the student body, like that legal part of it was 20 words long. And then the lawful part, it's lawful for parents to hit the kids, was 2-3 words long. It's like, wait a second. Why is this? And it's the same thing I learned when the judge told me in North Carolina. He said, what were you charged with? He said, added an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He said, that's right.
Yeah.
For what? Moonshine. So the law would be moonshine, and the legal version would be adding an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. That was the actual literal charge that was on that paper. They could have just wrote moonshine. No, they wrote the whole entire, definition out, basically the charge. So that's when I realized when I was a kid, why is it illegal to hit a kid? No, they didn't say anything about hitting a kid. They said striking a member of the student body by any officio or any officiating or any teaching staff, faculty member of the New York State Teaching Association. Why? Look at this. Why didn't they just say it's illegal to hit kids, but parents can still hit their kids? It's like, why didn't they just make it teachers can't hit, but parents can? Because obviously the legals must mean something different than the law. So that's what really piqued my curiosity when I was a kid. When I just saw the newspaper article, it was ridiculously long what was illegal, but it's incredibly short what was lawful. So it's like, lawful, what's the difference here? And then it was like I said, they had corporal punishment when I was a kid, and some kids that I used to get into fights with at least once a day. A family, they were three sons, and every day. And like I said, I remember the principal would paddle them to such an extent that they could not bend their legs. They could not bend to sit on the seat on the ride home. And they had to do the old strap hangers. They had to hold on to the straps. And every time the bus or train, whatever, hit a bump, the kids would just burst out crying. They'd try to play tough guy, not cry, but they would just start squealing like little girls. It's like, wow, these bullies turned into little candy asses, because they got their asses whooped. Man, that principal must have really put a lick into them to make them, bleed like they're bleeding. So that terrified me that a teacher or a principal could hit me to that extent, that I could not bend my legs. So, man, I was terrified. I mean, they kept me in total terror. I was such a great student up until 1972, and once I realized the difference between legal and lawful, and they could no longer administrate corporal punishment, whatever that meant, I realized the hitting days were over. Oh, man, it was like, like, hallelujah, like the chains would break loose, and now I could be an asshole. That I've been an asshole in the whole, but I, had to contain myself in school because I don't want my ass beat by these teachers. I could do whatever I want. Holy crap, this is great. I could basically tell the teacher to go F himself, and there's not a damn thing he could do about it. If he can't hit me no more, oh, hallelujah, I've just been afraid to get my ass kicked. But now they can't do it no more. Holy cow, like freedom at last. Now it could be me. When you see something legal, it's extremely, like, convoluted and a lot of words. And like the judge in North Carolina taught me, he says, look, son, if they really wanted you, if they really wanted you to find you guilty and throw you in jail, he said they would have charged you with a robbery, theft, murder, kidnapping, assault. He said they would have made it a one word. He said they would have not allowed a loophole in there. He said they would have made it crystal clear that they wanted you to sit in jail. He said, but when they said add an artificial heat source, speed the fermentation, alcohol, out of federal permit, he said, obviously, if you had a lawyer worth a damn, he would have just got the loophole, and he said you would have got out of here. He said, but he said the loophole is artificial. He said you just should have said a natural heat source. He said that's just one off the top of my head. And that's all I'm doing with you guys. I'm doing exactly what that judge in North Carolina did. And I said, look, just off the top of my head, what were you charged? This is what you're charged with. Okay, go in there and tell the judge you did this. You didn't do this, you did that. Yes, you did something. Yes, it might be considered wrong or illegal or unlawful, but that's not what I'm charged with. I'm charged with this, not that.